4640 is winning the C2. There's Celeste, and she's moving quite good through there, right? Now what we need to do in these conditions is we gotta look over here and find the best time to make a break over here. These guys look really light, actually. So she might come out better this time. See how she's hitting shift? I mean, this is a C2 that just saw her sail up, and she just pounds on a shift. Gets on the lifted starboard tack. That is the best thing she's done this weekend, is she's actually kind of understands lifts and headers a little bit. Now she's on a big lift. She needs to foot. Don't point too high, because the next wind shift is going to be a header. You can tell that the current is flooding into the bay, because look at the gap these guys built, okay? Just because they got around the mark and these guys got stopped and the current was just ripping these guys away. Now these guys are gonna come around and slow down, and we should see the gap shrink a little bit. These guys will gain. Imagine if the current was strong this weekend, how painful this regatta would have been. Because this is one of the lowest magnitude tides of the month this weekend. Now we have to start doing, we talked about this morning, we have to start anticipating the current. See how Asher's not making any motion over the bottom of the bay. You got to start turning into the buoy early. See how Anton does that? He's like, stick it as close to the buoy because the current is pushing you downwind. Oh, look, Asher didn't even make the mark. He needs to, what you need to do in these conditions is you got to foot with the main sheet loose. You have to do what Mark Gaudio does. Man, Asher's blowing it by tacking this much. He should just reach for a second. He might not make that buoy again. You see how everybody's gaining. These guys just can't make any progress. Oh, Asher just barely rounded the buoy. He almost had to do a fourth tack to get away from it. Okay, Max in 5th, Taylor in 6th, Chris in 7th, Maddie in 8th. Maddie has been good downwind this weekend. She's never lost boats downwind. If anything, every single time I see her when she's near people, like she was right with those boats there. And now look at her. She's going to the left buoy where Shane Tilson. Okay, now what we do is we come here, Chris looks at Asher and goes, wow, Asher is on a big lift. So Chris should actually go around the near buoy, the one here in front of me, and then reach and accelerate, leave the main sheet out, get the boat moving, trim in, and tack about 5-8 seconds after the buoy, maybe 10. I don't know why he trimmed his main in. That was a big mistake. Okay, so now he's going to try to go to the other buoy, and that was a big mistake, because Maddie is now, if he'd have rounded right now, he would be good, but watch this. Maddie is actually going to round right on his stern. So that was a big. He could be going upwind right there the other way at the mark already, and he still hasn't gone around this buoy. So no problem. That you could call that a conservative move. Now Kevin should look upwind because there's a ton of wind right at 7630. 7630 has got wind. So Kevin made a big mistake by bailing to this buoy. He should have gone around the other one. That was a good move right there, dude. That is going to pay off. Watch, that girl's going to get swept wide, and he is just going to, oh my God, I'm so glad I got that on tape. That was crazy, and he's got a huge puff coming right now, too. He needs a little more Anton in him. You watch Anton, Anton's not ripping the rudder and the main around like that more. It's okay to work the boat, but Kevin needs to look at Anton and those boats up there flying on starboard. You see those guys? And he needs to get going that way. Oh, he just tacked. Good. He's just trying so hard. You just can't get it moving. The current's just messing with him. Like, he just can't get it moving. I like what Taylor did. C2 going downwind right there in the last race. He's first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, and Celeste is right next to, there she is. So I'm really proud of her. Her first C2 regatta, and she's going to be top 5, I think. And that was 24 boats or something, or 19 boats, so that's pretty good. Top 4 or 5, top 3, 4, something. Her boom needs, we got to remember that. Her boom is not at 90. We got to figure that main sheet out. She needs to say starboard to that other boat and get that other boat to steer away from her. Because she's being nice and avoiding collision right now. C2's back here in wind. You see this puff right here? It kind of looks shiny, right? Look at these guys right here, just absolutely adrift. So they're doing the right thing. They're trying to come towards me right now. And these guys are just starting to get it. He's just starting to get it. You see that little bit of leeward heel? This is where Max needs to get a little better. Little better leeward heel upwind in those big light spots, because it helps fill the sail. It makes the sail, when you heel the windward, the sail gets flatter by maybe a ½ an inch flatter or something. It's dramatic. Millimeters make differences, and we're doing inches of flatter by leaning the boat to windward. Okay, so now Taylor's starting to get to the puff, and he's going to go ahead and take the header and go back. So what do we have? Anton first, 9504 second, 10231 third, Taylor fourth, Max fifth. Just beautiful job, you guys. You guys did not sail didn't sail port tack into the lighter air. Nice work. So Max got an easy second place in this regatta overall. Does not surprise me at all. His tactics have been crazy good. And here's Maddie in about, not bad. I mean, Maddie's been seeing this puff coming. Anton's already around. That guy's a C2 right there. 9504 is second in the A fleet. Here comes Max and Taylor with huge wind. Look back over there. Oh, they're starting to get the wind too. But they were just parked just a second ago. Those guys back there, 10298, 10231. They were ahead of Max and Taylor at the gates. And these guys have just sailed amazing. So I'm going to call it. Max is going to round third. Taylor's going to round fourth. 10231 was winning the race. Remember what we talked about with the current? One way you know the current's going downwind is that the leaders at the windward mark sail away, and then all of a sudden you gain back to them as they stop and go upwind. Ooh, Max and Taylor should have footed. They totally blew that. Now Taylor's having to tack down speed. Okay, pulled it off, third and fourth. Fifth, oh, that's a C fleeter. 8231's an A fleeter, so Maddie's in fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, ninth. Maddie's in ninth, Kevin's in 10th. I think that Celeste is winning the last race. She has actually passed, she's actually passed people in the fleet ahead of her. Look at that. I mean, that's the C2 fleet back here. I mean, that is just crushed it the last race. I'm gonna have to ask her what she did up there at the top. She must have had her best windward mark approach. So let's review for Celeste. I think a little bit more footing upwind. Your dad can explain that to you. Just a tiny bit of pressing to get the boat moving. Leeward telltale flickering just a little more, especially in the strong current. Getting around leeward marks with more aggression. You're just going too wide around leeward marks. Downwind, we need a longer main sheet, get our sail out further, ease our Cunningham and outhaul downwind. At least Cunningham and bang. Outhall's dangerous to ease downwind because you might forget it, and then upwind you're horrid. So if you have your outhall wrong upwind, it is bad. And then the last one is windward mark roundings. We tend to sail the boat. We need to sail the boat faster as we get to the top of our courses. It's easy to sail at the windward mark when you're in the lead, but when you're at 9th, 10th, 15th, you've got to foot a little more, play the main sheet a tiny bit, and make the boat go faster because of all the bad air and the waves you're cutting across. So remember that. Let's work on our boat handling and sailing up near the windward mark quite a bit. Anyway, good regatta. Great first C2 regatta.